Is it okay to be racist towards white people?
Racist, no. There's a certain level of prejudice. I live in Canada, so like, you can kind of tell, if somebody has a certain vibe. But no, I wouldn't say racist. No.
Why do you think it's like more accepted in society to make jokes about white people?
Because they make jokes about the rest of us constantly. Yeah.
But do you think achieving equality is done by more hate?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Yeah.
So then is that okay then?
Yeah. Well, no. I guess. No, it's not okay. But yeah, racism towards anybody isn't okay. I think prejudice is like saying that I've had enough experiences where I can kind of say, all right, I have it in my head to have my guard up at a certain point. You know what I mean?
So do you feel like you have your guard up against white people?
Sometimes I do. Sometimes I do.
Isn't that a bit racist? Like, do you have that, if you're around Asian people or Latinos or just white people?
I think it's a matter of like, when I encounter a white person, I've seen the signs of racism enough times that I'm like, I can pick them out. So the prejudice is, do I see these signs? You kind of get what I mean?
I see what you're saying. So you've had personal experiences.
Yeah, it's not a prejudice. It's not a prejudice based on I see this person, I dislike them. It's a prejudice based on I see this person, I've seen certain vibes before. Am I right or am I wrong? You kind of get me?
But what if, like, let's say white people said that about black people, right? If they're like, oh, I don't really trust black people because of the vibe they give me. Would you say that's racist?
Honestly, no, because it depends on where they're from, what kind of people they're talking about, what experiences they've had, I'm certain that somebody who's living in like a certain place of the world would say that, they've encountered black people of a specific culture. I think that if you paint with a broad stroke everybody of a certain race, then it's one thing. But it's like, you can see signs about things you've experienced before in the past. You kind of get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess that is also kind of human nature to like, take into account your experiences and how you act in the future.
Exactly. And I would differentiate that from racism and prejudice. You get me? Like, prejudice is just, I've seen these signs before. What is this? It looks like a similar vibe. I mean, women can be prejudiced when they encounter men and they're like, I've seen these signs before, right? Men can be prejudiced with women. So anybody can do that. It's just a matter of you've encountered this before or you haven't.
What is racism to you then? Like, how would you define that?
I'd say racism is the belief that people, depending on like their race or culture, are predefined, right? So it's saying that black people, because they're black, are a specific way, I think like prejudice towards like cultures and mannerisms and whatever, that's one thing because you've seen that pattern, right? But to say this person is lesser than me or this person is because they look this way, that's exactly what they are. I think, yeah, that to me is racism.
I'm just trying to understand here, but it kind of does seem a little similar, no? Like that definition of prejudice and racism. Like at the end of the day, you're kind of basing your maybe judgments on an entire group of people, right? In the sense that, you said that, you've had negative experiences with white people before. So if you do encounter a white person, you feel like your guard is up a little bit. Isn't that a bit similar, or am I not understanding?
It's similar. I would say how I'm defining guard is up is that I am aware of what certain signals mean, right? And so I'm watching for those signals. You get me? And if those signals aren't there, like you can tell very quickly, like if somebody's vibe is good, if somebody's vibe is bad, right? So I encounter certain people. Honestly, any race, I encounter people and be like, I've seen somebody similar to this before. Do they have the specific vibe that I've seen in my past that I don't fuck with?